Ooh, girl, you're looking so fine. Sending them shivers right up and down my spine when I check that Snapchat.
Hello and welcome back to Lost Aux Media, everybody. So happy to have you guys back. As always, I've had a very interesting and exciting week. I'll have you know, over the weekend, I have become an axe-throwing champion. Yes, it's very exciting, this axe-throwing stuff. It's a lot more exciting than you would give it credit for. You know what I mean? When you actually go and do it, you see it online. Kind of doesn't seem all that exciting, but when you go and do it, it's a whole nother beast, you know? A little bit more on that later. Then, in the beginning of the weekend on Friday, I went and saw Andrew Santino. I'm recording this on Sunday, so that was a couple days ago. And it wasn't the worst experience I've ever had. It was my first time going to see Andrew. Just him and one opener. That was interesting for a comedian at Andrew's level. But it wasn't the worst time I've ever had, okay, at a comedy show. The thing I didn't like about it was that they pushed the start time back like 45 minutes. Now, if you're familiar with these comedy shows, they do that when the place hasn't sold out yet. You could still buy tickets up to the door. We checked, okay, when we went to go see this guy. This guy's got 1 million subscribers on Bad Friends with Bobby Lee, almost 1 million on Whiskey Ginger. Podcast is supposedly doing great. Where are all the fucking people? So I wasn't a big fan of the fact that we had to push the start time back. When they do that, it's because they want to, hopefully people will show up. You know, that's what they're doing it for. And I'm in the South. We had a hurricane blow through this bitch, so it could have been that. Or it could have been he just couldn't fill it up. I don't know. You know. But I didn't appreciate the fact that we pushed back the start time. I'm Puerto Rican. Okay? What if I was like the rest of those Puerto Ricans and I had like 9 kids under the age of 5 at home? You know how expensive it is to pay for a babysitter? For 9 kids under the age of 5. 9 Puerto Rican kids under the age of 5. It's expensive, okay? So I'm going to tell you right now, didn't appreciate that. But it was a good time nonetheless. Let's give it up for Andrew Santino, okay? So who do we have on the docket for today? We got Bert Kreischer proving to be completely insufferable on this whole 2 bears, 1 cave, you know? Very insufferable character, this Bert. I still can't even understand how Tom Segura puts up with this guy. Then, of course, we have a return of everyone's favorite segment, What's Eating Ethan Klein? And that's going to be a good one. Ethan wants to do a little bit of ripping off for this Good Mythical Morning. You guys familiar with these guys? I don't know who did this Good Mythical Morning until I found out about Ethan wanting to rip off that show entirely. Very interesting. Then we got Logan Paul getting a little bit of backlash for his new product that he ended up co-founding with Mr. Beast and KSI. Now they're trying to take over the Lunchables world. What was with these YouTubers, right? They go, oh, we want to mature. We want to start a business. They revolve the business completely around kids. Am I the only one that finds it a little weird that these grown-ass adults want to base their whole business model off of children? Maybe that's just me. I find it a little weird that you want kids to be around your shit so much. So more on that a little bit later. Then we got Haliey Welch with her podcast Talk Tuah. You know, Talk Tuah, the Hawk Tuah girl. This is the 3rd episode of her podcast. She has Caitlin Bristow on. And this is an interesting one, I guess. You know what I mean? I still cannot for the life of me understand why people want to watch this show. Like, I think for like 4 hours, it ended up becoming like number 3 on Spotify, which is big. You know, that's Joe Rogan, Call Her Daddy. They're usually taking up those top spots. So that's a big deal. It's very short-lived. Just like I said, that shit maybe lasted a day. That show and Jake Paul's Company Better, they made the hugest deal out of it. This podcast is number 3 in the country. Everybody's hooked. When we watch these time codes, I'm going to show you there's a couple interesting things on there, but nothing that it's number 3. You know what I mean? I'm starting to get worried about the state of the rest of the country's minds. You know what I mean? So we got, a lot of good jamokes on the docket for today. So let's not waste any time. Let's just get right into it, you know? Before we start, we're going to start with Bert Kreischer and Tom Segura on Two Bears, One Cave. But I wanted to show you this picture, you know, now since I had brought up that Andrew Santino show. We got here, this was the Instagram story that I had posted the night of the show. And I had put, I'm about to go do some heavy recon on Andrew Santino. You know, that was my joke. Like, I'm going to go and check out the show and spy on him. And then I had posted another story and was like, I'm sitting front row, bitch. Maybe we could do a little bit of Red Bar's watching. You know how much we love Red Bar around here, right? And Andrew Santino, he ended up looking at the story is making me feel like I'm being watched, you know? I saw that and obviously when somebody looks at your story like that on Instagram, when you tag them, it clearly means that me and Andrew are now best friends and that I'm going to be promoting his tours from now on so that we could fill up those goddamn seats. Stop pushing the goddamn time back on everybody with their fucking babysitters. You know what I mean? Let's give it up for Andrew Santino. So going into this Bert Kreischer and Tom Segura Two Bears, One Cave episode is one of the newest ones. They didn't have a guest on there this time. It was I guess what they would call a solo dolo. When it's the two of them, that's a solo podcast, you know? Can't help but, you can't have guests every single week. You know, people got lives too. But this one, they bring up the Vegas time that they had. Remember, they just interviewed Dana White in Vegas. Bert made an ass out of himself during that episode of Two Bears. Bert talks about how he was losing his shit in Vegas, getting drunk as shit. Bert talks a little bit about, like, his childhood. Basically just how obnoxious he was, like, from birth. Like, I'm surprised this guy's dad didn't do, like, a Viking send-off and just let him float out into sea. And because he had to have known that there was something wrong with that child the second that he came out. There's no way. There's no way that you pegged Bert for a normal functioning person out the womb. I find that very hard to believe. It's kind of just the whole episode. It's just him displaying behavior and kind of proving how, like, obnoxious he is, how almost insufferable he is. And it seriously blows my mind that this guy even has a following. I'm not going to hold you guys with my rhetoric and dialogue this whole time. Let's jump into it. Let's hear it all right from Bert.
Everything was in the green. Where you like, it's like you want
optimal, yeah,
optimal. Everything was in the green, and I have been partying, and so I was like a little nervous. I got to get blood work this week to get, you know, for my longevity shit, and I'm fucking stressed because I was partying so hard in Vegas.
Yeah,
and
that was fun though.
It was a blast, dude.
So right there, this I find a little bit strange. Bert's good for this. He always talks about how he only just wants to be healthy enough to drink his ass off, you know? That's not a good sign when it comes to people's, like, longevity, like he's talking about right now. I got this whole longevity plan. The whole plan is for him to just overwork out so that he could keep drinking his ass off. He somehow thinks that, like, the working out is gonna, like, counteract the effects of the alcoholism. It's not. You could be putting yourself through the gym 8 hours a day, steroids, supplements, the whole 9 yards. What you're doing is you're basically running your body hard as fuck on really thin blood. That's what alcohol does to you. It thins your blood out. So you're probably not thinking straight as it is because of the alcohol. Now you're working out. You're overstressing your body. Now your brain is, like, really going in circles. And I kind of feel like there's a thing with alcoholism. It's called wet brain. Not a lot of people know about this. This wet brain, it's almost like you drank so much, it's almost like the alcohol has, like, started deteriorating your mind. Picture, like, the reason people call it that is because it's like, picture if your brain was just sitting in a pool of beer. How do you think somebody would be acting if that was the case for them? So I think he has, like, a little bit of the wet brain we got going on here. And it's clear this guy's going to keep the party going. He wants to just work out long enough to make an ass out of himself in Vegas. Listen to this.
Good time.
Vegas was so fucking fun.
You were on one when we did the first bar we went to.
I didn't remember. I didn't know. I don't remember anything about that bar.
Listen to this bullshit. See, this is not good. I cannot understand how this guy has like any sort of career in Hollywood. Because you have to like, yeah, you can be talented, which I don't think Bert's all that talented, but that's just me. You can be talented, but you still gotta be like palpable to be around. You know, people still gotta want to like tolerate your presence when you sign up for these projects and shit. If you're out there blacking out, that more than likely means that people got to take care of you, and nobody wants to be around those people. It doesn't matter how many handlers you have. Nobody wants to be embarrassed with this type of behavior, Bert. You got to let this shit go. And look at his face when Tom brings it up. He does the whole, puts his head back, tilts his head back down. There's a little bit of contemplation. I really was an asshole, but of course it's Bert, and he's going to try to play it off as if it's cute. It's cute because it's him doing it.
I didn't remember. I didn't know. I don't remember anything about that bar.
Well, yeah. I mean, you didn't remember conversations we had in the parking lot, leaving the podcast we did with Dana. The conversation we had at the bar. You were bringing stuff up to me later. You were like, you know what we should do? And I was like, we already did that. And you were like, oh.
Look at that. Now Tom is telling him after the interview with Dana White, which we just covered on the last episode. After this interview with Dana White, you didn't even remember half the shit we were talking about, buddy. Not only that, later on in the night, you were suggesting shit that we had done like 20 minutes ago. Once again, not good signs. That when you're blacking out like that, you're drinking your brain into like shut-off mode almost. It's like, you can't, that's not a good sign. When your body goes on autopilot and you can't remember what happened, that's not a good sign. It's not just like, oh man, what did I do last night? It's like you put your body through the ringer, my friend. And he's doing this all the time. And Tom knows it. Tom's like, expects this kind of behavior. You remember the last episode, Tom didn't even want to book his gambling trip to gamble with Dana in Vegas with Bert. It's because of this kind of shit right here.
I was going through an emotional upheaval.
Yeah, you're going through it. Yeah. I mean,
dude, I woke up this morning in this house, and there's.
Okay, so now Bert's about to talk about how he's like an empty nester, which is awesome. Your kids graduated, cool, big deal. You know, I guess that's awesome. I don't have kids. You know what I mean? So you can't really get me to relate with you on that one. But remember, I was telling you how Bert's kind of been like this his whole life. Like, ever since this guy was a child, he's just been doing obnoxious, retarded shit. Could you imagine being this guy's parents and having to deal with that shit? You know what I mean? Like, listen to this guy talk about how when he was in first grade, all he wore were Speedos and knee-high moccasins. What the fuck are knee-high moccasins? Like, I still don't know what that is. Listen to this shit.
That in like first grade, only wore Speedos and knee-high moccasins and would only respond to the name Wild Boy.
Wild Boy? Wild Boy. Now picture this, because you know Bert's been fat all his life. So picture a fat, who's that kid that they do the Costco food reviews, like on the chicken bake and the triple chunk chocolate cookie? You know what I mean? Bert's looking like one of those short, tubby fat kids at first grade. That's what he's looking like. He looks like the fatter one that does the little chin thing. He goes like, yeah. You know, he tries to get like, what do they call that? Like Giga Chad, like into the camera. Bert's looking like one of them in first grade. He's walking around everywhere he goes, he says. He's wearing a Speedo and knee-high moccasins. What the fuck are we doing here? Listen to this shit.
Only wore Speedos and knee-high moccasins and would only respond to the name Wild Boy.
Wild Boy.
Like,
Wild Boy?
And I remember the day that died. I remember the day it died, and I was like, yo, I'm the only one wearing Speedos and knee-high moccasins. Like, I gotta kind of conform a little bit.
Okay, so now, this is great. Bert in first grade even realized that was fucking ridiculous. Even in first grade, he's like, oh man, I'm the only one doing this. I'm clearly I'm not setting any trends here. You know what I mean? You're walking around wearing a Speedo and knee-high mock. If that happened now in 2024, someone's letting their kid walk around in a Speedo and knee-high moccasins, this parents would be sent to jail. You know what I mean? Like it seems like a humiliation ritual or something almost. Now picture being the parent. This kid's gonna lose his mind if you don't let him leave the house like that. So what do? I guess you have no choice with a guy like Bert. And Tom's sitting here like, this is fucking. What are you talking about?
But like, I feel odd. My dad had already seen it. He'd always say like, we go to the mall, and he'd be like, "You want to put on some clothes?" And I'd be like, "No, this is what I wear."
Yeah.
And he was like, "Let's go." And I was like, "It's Wild Boy." And he was like, "Can we?" I tried to change my name so many times. I remember the first time I tried to change my name, I changed it to Flash, and he was.
Oh my God! So this guy. He's going from Wild Boy to the Flash. This is all first grade. You know, how old are you even in first grade? I don't remember anything from like the age 12 forward. You know what I mean? Like, one day I woke up, I was 12 years old. I have no idea how that happened. I don't remember shit from my childhood. So I don't know how old you are in first grade. What do you got to be like 8, 9, 5? I don't. Either way, I know it's really young. And this guy is trying to change his name to the Flash, to the fucking Wild Boy, driving his parents absolutely goddamn bananas. Now, listen to this. It's not just like that type of stupid behavior. You ever meet somebody who like every single thing that they do, they're putting it on? You know what I mean? Like everything that they do is like got like a little shtick to it or something like that. Maybe they act like overly oblivious to everything, thinking like it's cute. Like, for example, Bert is about to talk about how he played baseball when he was a kid and how the victory dance is the only thing that mattered to him. So much so that he's just completely ruining plays by dancing around the field just because he caught the ball. Not taking into consideration anybody else's hard efforts or what they did to work their asses off to try to win these baseball games. No, you're going to hear Bert, ever since he was a kid, he's just always had it turned on. And he thought, for some odd reason, he thought the rest of the world just looked at him like he was cute. Like this was the shit, you know what I mean? And listening to this guy talk about it, it's almost cringer than Tony Hinchcliffe.
Sometimes I don't know how fucking cringy and ridiculous I sound.
Let's do this.
That kid, that really fun first grade playing second base, caught a fly ball, bases loaded, caught a fly ball. Crowd, I'm playing for the Yankees. Teddy Church is standing next to me. I mean, so vividly remember this. Denny Sullivan's our coach. I catch the fly ball. I then take the fly ball. I spike it into the ground. I take my shirt off and I start dancing. And I got in the car with my dad and he was like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Okay, so I paused it too soon, but I let it play for you guys, you know. Give it up for me. Yes. So Bert is talking about the story that I talked about. Bases are loaded. All three runners are on all three bases. I'm sure you know what baseball is, okay? I'm not going to explain that shit. Boring as fuck. So bases are loaded. This batter on the opposite team, they smack a fly ball. That bitch is popped off. Bert catches it. Probably the most like athletic thing he's ever done in his entire life. Actually caught the ball, right? Now, you got a really good opportunity to get a triple out right here. You know, you could make waves in the Pop Warner baseball community or whatever the fuck it is. Bert doesn't do that. Instead, Bert takes the ball, spikes it to the ground, and starts dancing because he thinks that he won the game. He thinks that he won the game right there, right? Or does he? You have to be completely retarded to sit there and think that that's what you're supposed to do. There's no way that anyone in their right mind would think that if they played baseball, if that's what they were doing. You wouldn't think that. The only person that would do that is a narcissistic psychopath. He did that all so that people could just have their eyes on him in that moment. Once again, like I said, not taking into consideration your teammates' hard work and efforts during practice. Maybe some of these kids might want to get scouted and get scholarships in school. Your first grade, I'm talking a little crazy. These kids are young as fuck. They probably don't actually care about baseball. That doesn't mean that they don't want to win, okay? And this guy fucks it up for everybody just for the sake of, like, wanting to make an ass out of himself for attention. Listen to this.
I then take the fly ball, I spike it into the ground, I take my shirt off, and I start dancing. And I got in the car with my dad, and he was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And I was like, I was celebrating. And he was like, everyone scored. You lost the game. I was like, oh, I didn't know. I didn't pay attention to that. I was like, did the dance look good? And he was like, there's a thing about humility. You can just catch the ball and then just like.
This is not humility, my friend. You're just retarded. I'm sorry. That's all that this is. Okay, so to sit there and say to somebody, well, winning the game, that's not the part that I care about. All I care about is the victory dance. That's a crock of shit. The victory dance means nothing without the victory, right? Only thing anyone in the crowd sees is a retarded kid losing the game for their children. So what are you doing here? There's no way that Bert's parents probably didn't try to instill a little bit of common sense into their son. I think Bert didn't get his ass beat when he was a child. His dad should have been cracking that ass with leather, hard leather. This guy would be like a car salesman or something right now. And the world would be free of this retardation that we call Bert Kreischer. You know what I mean? And it gets even more insufferable. It's not just his stories that make these podcasts like almost unlistenable. If it wasn't for the show that I'm doing, I wouldn't watch this dog shit. This is crazy to me. You know what I mean? To listen to this like 45-year-old baby, like he acts like a child, and he's probably one of the most disgusting people I have ever seen. Like if I was white, I'd be protesting in the streets. I'd be like, this motherfucker does not represent us. Do not put that shit on us. This guy, he is like an anomaly. He's his own thing. The whites, we have denounced him, okay? He's gross as fuck, clearly doesn't take care of himself. I couldn't imagine how this guy smells on a daily basis. But it's the lifestyle's catching up to him, and we're about to see that. This guy in the middle of the show, he is having like crazy acid reflux. It's like for like 15 minutes straight, this guy is just every fucking 5 seconds. This guy is saying some shit and clearing his throat. Listen to this dog shit. This guy is clearly losing his way.
But so like, did you wake up today thinking about death?
Oh, so bad. So bad. I'm listening to a podcast about the Northwest Passage.
That's the first one.
To Asia from England.
That's the second one.
And it's everyone that tried to get basically through like through above Canada and then above through the Arctic Circle to get to Asia. They were looking for a shorter route to Asia, but just everyone fucking died. I mean, these one dudes ate undercooked polar bear.
There's another one. Goddamn.
And their teeth fell out.
Like, what is this guy fucking doing? You know what I mean? So this is you just heard it 3 times in like 2 minutes, not even. I don't let these clips play crazy long, So this guy, he's going through it. And I'm sure Tom notices, because Tom actually has like he cares about how the production sounds to an extent. They got producers, but you're still the one talking into the mic. You have to put a little bit of effort to like try to make this listenable. People are listening to these with headphones. They don't want to hear you fucking hack your fucking lungs out trying to clear up this whatever you got going on. You need to start putting better shit in your body so that you don't have this stuff anymore. So this goes on for like 10 straight minutes. He's every 45 seconds. It's just like one of those records spinning backwards. He's like, you know what I mean? Like Chewbacca. Or not Chewbacca, it's a Jabba the Hutt. He's the one that speaks all fucking crazy. But anyway, this is kind of what we're dealing with. Tom's about to finally call him out. Tom's like, what the fuck you got going on here? You're doing this. We cannot edit this stuff out, you know? And our schedule is so tight, we don't have time to record another one.
I like
Period
foreign
piece.
language cooking shows.
If that does it for you, then why don't
But
you
I can't fall asleep to them because I want to see them. Like I tell you what I love. You know what I'd love? I would love a Spanish speaking podcast, I bet. Because when we lived back in the smaller house.
Do you have acid reflux today?
No.
Jesus fucking Christ. What the fuck? So now you see Tom's sick of this shit. Tom is like starting to get very annoyed. He's like, you cannot do this. Every 5 seconds, man, people are listening to this with headphones. This is crazy. You know? Like, this is not good for the listener. Tom's starting to get pissed. Tom finally says something. Listen to this.
When we lived back in the smaller house.
Do you have acid reflux today?
No, I don't know what's going on with me. I'm just coughing a lot. Yeah.
No, but you're clearing. You're not just you're like like you don't have something going on?
No.
No?
No? You don't think this Bert is a lying sack of shit? You don't got something going on? Bert says, no, I don't got nothing. What do you mean? Dude, Tom's looking at him like, well, I mean, before we started recording, you down like half a handle of Poroso's vodka. You know, so we can start there. Not only that, it's 10:30 a.m. You ate like 2 cheesesteaks and like 7 donuts from Krispy Kreme today. You sure that you don't have acid reflux? Are you positive? And Bert looks him dead in his eye and goes, no, I don't, nothing going on here. You know, this guy doesn't even realize that he's like killing himself. And listen, it gets worse. Tom's like, what the fuck?
Why do you notice stuff like that?
I mean, it's just you've done it a lot. And you also mentioned when we were in Vegas that after you got back to your room, after getting absolutely hammered, that you ate a dozen donuts. So I was just wondering if that carried on to this week.
Change my state of mind.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Love so hard to find.
We got him, dude. But even Tom is like, bro, I see the shit that you got going on. There's no way that you're telling me that you don't have something going on. You ate all those goddamn donuts. Now, speaking of donuts, listen to the nightmare that this guy puts this fucking cashier through at Dunkin' Donuts because he's too retarded to order a fucking assembly of like assortment of different donuts. You know what I mean? You know, you get 12 donuts at Dunkin', you want every single one to be different. Bert can't seem to like articulate that to the cashier. Ends up leaving the bitch with 4 dozen donuts. How the fuck does that even happen? This isn't really all that important to like, you know, the point that I'm trying to make. It's just more or less me pointing out that Bert actually is retarded. Like,
Oh my God.
Because I couldn't. First of all, this fucking dumb who I know we're not allowed to say, but I go, can I get a dozen donuts? And she goes, sure. And she gives me a dozen of the exact same strawberry sprinkle donuts. And I go, well, no, can I get like an assortment? She goes, what's an assortment? I go, you work at Dunkin' Donuts. How do you not know the word assortment yet?
okay, so now Bert's sitting there like punching down to this bitch. He looks at her, he goes, you work at Dunkin' Donuts? You don't know what the word assortment is? Like, what the fuck? You know? Like, as if Bert is like this fucking genius, right? So he's like, you walked in, you said to the woman, let me get a dozen donuts. Okay, a dozen donuts. I'm going to give you a dozen of the same fucking donut. What? You have to be specific when you order your shit, right? That'd be like if you ordered a cheeseburger that came with tomatoes, you got pissed off when it got to you, there was tomatoes on it. You didn't say anything. Okay? So now he's getting pissed off at this poor woman who works at Dunkin' Donuts. Probably not even a woman. It's probably like a teenager. Someone like his daughter's age. He's getting these donuts for his daughter. Okay? So now he's about to berate this bitch because he doesn't know how to order 12 dozen donuts. Listen to this.
And I go, different donuts? And she goes, oh, you don't like these? And I go, no, those are great. They're great.
Can you mix it up?
I said, can I get another dozen donuts? And can you throw like different ones in there? And
So now he finally has made some sense here. Now she kind of is like, oh, okay, it is what it is. This guy still somehow cannot make this fucking order work. He's about to talk about how she keeps pushing these strawberry sprinkles, right? Which this I kind of will give to him. I would be like, whoa, we need to lay off of the strawberry sprinkles. Let's mix it up a little bit. But let's not forget how this encounter started. You fucked the order up first, okay?
She starts with the strawberry sprinkles, and I go, okay, cool. We've covered the strawberry sprinkles. So then now I barely have an assortment. So I go, can I get another dozen donuts? And then give me everything you haven't given me yet. Do you know?
Okay, now listen to the wordage here. He says, you fucked that one up. He goes, let me get another one. Give me everything you haven't given me yet, right? Now, that's a stupid way to word it. And I'll explain to you why right now. If she's clearly going heavy on these strawberry sprinkles, right? Tell her, can I get another 12 dozen of different donuts? No strawberry sprinkles. I don't want to see a single strawberry sprinkle in this next 12 donuts that you give me. Is problem solved? No. He wants to word it like an asshole and say, give me everything that you haven't given me yet. Okay. What are we supposed to do with that? Be more specific, Bert.
You know what she does, Tom? I swear to God. She goes to the first box and starts moving strawberry sprinkles into the new box. I'm like, are you trying to move strawberry sprinkles or something? Like, what is the strawberry sprinkle thing? And so I had to get 4 dozen because she never even.
Listen to this. I'm going to point this out. I didn't even realize this when I was doing the show notes. Tom is sitting there bitching about Bert's acid reflux, right? We're going to listen back while Bert's talking. Tom is sitting there fucking into the fucking mic louder than fuck. Listen to this bullshit.
Strawberry sprinkles into the new box. I'm like, are you trying to move strawberry sprinkles or something? Like, what is the strawberry sprinkle thing?
Snort number 1.
And so I had to get
snort number 2. Tom's no better than Bert. What the fuck is happening here?
4 dozen because she never even gave me an assortment.
So you brought home 4 dozen donuts.
Isla was like, Dad, I can't take these into the dorm. She's like, I'm going to look like a fucking lunatic.
See? Look, this guy he can't even do something as simple as buying a dozen different donuts for his daughter to bring to college. Like, this is going to be her first day in the dorms. She wants to make some friends in school. It's normal. I'm going to come with some coffee and donuts. I'm going to really, hook the girls up. You know how insane this chick would look if she came into that dorm with 4 dozen donuts. She would, in college, people are hesitant to even take that kind of shit from you. You know what I mean? So you come in there with 4 dozen donuts, they're going to be like, this bitch is insane. She had like no friends coming into school. You got to play the sweet spot. You want to make friends. You can't seem too desperate when you're that age, okay? So now his daughter's like, listen, I guess I appreciate the order, but like, I'm sorry, like, this is fucking insane. We can't do that, okay? I'm not bringing these to school. Now listen to this. This is probably one of the more disgusting things that I've heard when it comes to Bert's eating habits, okay? The 12 dozen donuts is for his daughter, but he smashed like 24 of them, okay? Probably on the way to the dorms. Now, listen to what this guy orders on an average day when he goes to the drive-thru at McDonald's. This is actually insane. Like, I've never heard a more insane McDonald's order, and I eat the shit. I'm not going to lie. I'll eat a McDouble. I'll eat 2 McDoubles, okay? I'm not above it. I don't order McDonald's like this. Listen to this crazy shit.
It's less calories.
Yeah, it's totally less. You're fine.
I remember when we were doing the fat shaming thing. I remember one time I was in Chicago O'Hare and I went to McDonald's and it was
okay. Before we get into that, right? I want to bring some context here. He's getting fat shamed by his friends. He just started. You heard him. He goes, I remember when we were doing the whole fat shaming thing. Everyone was like trying to like get me to lose weight, and I was getting fat shamed by everybody. Remember that? You remember when I was getting fat shamed by everybody? Now, he's getting fat shamed. He's got the guilt of that. Now listen to this McDonald's order. This is with the guilt of being fat shamed by your friends. This is a very weak display of willpower.
I was in Chicago O'Hare, and I went to McDonald's, and it was right when I was getting fat shamed the most.
Yeah.
And I went to McDonald's, and I got, my order was like, I think it's usually 8 cheeseburgers, Big Mac,
Jesus
and
Christ.
a large fry.
This guy, holy shit. That's a order that would shell shock like the cashier if they knew that it was just for you. You know what I mean? That cashier it would be like a flashbang hit them. They'd be like, holy shit, you're gonna eat that much? You know what I mean? That's a lot of McDonald's. 8 cheeseburgers, a Big Mac, and he said one other thing. I don't know if it was like a McFlurry or something like that. It's just that is insane. That is insanity, okay? And it gets worse.
I think it's usually 8 cheeseburgers, Big, and I got, my order was like, I think it's usually 8 cheeseburgers, Big Mac,
Jesus
and
Christ.
a large fry.
That's your regular order?
I stand corrected. 8 cheeseburgers, a Big Mac, and a large fry. That's his order.
It was back then. But what I do is I'd taco the cheeseburgers. So I take the bottom bun off, all the business is on the top bun, the cheese, the pickles, the ketchup, and I taco them.
Yeah.
And
Okay, so this is wild. Maybe Bert is the wild boy. You know, he might be the wildest motherfucker I've ever seen. You get 8 cheeseburgers, you get a Big Mac, you get a large fry. That's feeding a family of 4, my friend. I don't know what you're going through. Now that's bad enough. If you ate that order as is, that's bad enough. Now, he goes extra sloppy on it, right? He says, well, it makes it a little, it's not that crazy because I'm taking the bottom buns off of all of the cheeseburgers. I'm tacoing the cheeseburgers with the top bun. Think about that. Actually imagine what that would be like in your mind to see somebody, a red, fat, white alcoholic dude with a beard, poorly kept, sitting in his car, tacoing 8 cheeseburgers from McDonald's. Think about that in your mind. That's like a scene out of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. You know? He's probably eating these things all in one bite. Okay? Think about that. Let's hear this again. This is wild. Okay?
was back then. But what I do is I'd taco the cheeseburgers. So I take the bottom bun off, all the business is on the top bun, the cheese, the pickles, the ketchup, and I taco them.
Yeah.
And so I'm tacoing 8 cheeseburgers, but people are looking at me.
Yeah.
So,
why would people look at you? What would people have to look at you for, Bert? You know? I wouldn't even look. If I was walking past that car, put him out. Put him out. That's what else are you gonna do? This guy's clearly past his prime.
I'm tacoing 8 cheeseburgers, but people are looking at me.
Yeah.
So I'm drunk. I got a backpack on, and I got fucking 8 cheeseburgers. I'm standing. So I went over to an old phone booth.
Oh, apparently he wasn't even driving around. He's standing doing this shit. That's even crazier. If you see someone standing with a big bag of McDonald's, right? Think about it. He said he had a backpack on. He's standing. He's got the bag of McDonald's. You know, that's how the only way you could hold 8 cheeseburgers, a Big Mac, and a large fry is in a big bag. Okay? Picture this. This is actually insane to picture. He's standing now maybe at a corner, something, whatever. You have to then pull a cheeseburger out, still holding the bag that all the rest of them are in. You have to now, with that other bag in your one hand, and you still have to kind of like open the cheeseburger wrapper, hold it. You probably have to balance the cheeseburger a little bit because you still have the weight of that bag holding the rest of the cheeseburgers in your other hand. Then you got to like peel the bottom bun off and throw it away somewhere. Knowing Bert, he's probably throwing it right on the floor, making yourself look like a white trash asshole in public. And then to make yourself seem like an even bigger white trash asshole, you taco the cheeseburger. You fold it with the top bun. Yeah, people are gonna stare at you, dude.
Sometimes I don't know how fucking cringy and ridiculous I sound.
They're gonna stare. The second I saw you with that big ass bag of McDonald's, I'd start staring. I'd be like, he doesn't need that shit. That's insane to me. It's a good thing he wasn't driving. He strikes me as like one of those type of people that would like have a heart attack while he's driving, right? And then he's like, driving down the street, he's tacoing cheeseburgers. He takes that one big bite and in the middle of driving, he's and pulls the car like into a ditch or something, right? But because of the ditch having like some shrubbery and some bushes around it, people kind of don't notice the car right away. And it's the middle of summer. So now he's kind of like sitting in this car dead, but the heat that's accumulating inside the car, it's making him expand. So he's getting bigger and bigger and bigger and fucking bigger. To the point to where all the gases in his body cause him to explode. So now the inside of this car is filled with liquid Bert. And then maybe like some, I don't know, guy cleaning up trash on the side of the road finds him like 5 months later. That's the story that I picture happening for Bert. You know why I bring that story up? I know somebody who had an uncle that happened to. I know somebody whose uncle had a heart attack while driving, crashed. They didn't find him right away. It was the middle of summer. The guy fucking exploded. And the family, they got the car. They still drive. It's a daily driver. And you should see the interior, fucking spotless. I'm telling you, that's hands down one of the craziest stories I've ever heard. And I that's what I picture. I picture that happening to Bert while eating these crazy tacoed out cheeseburgers. Now, he starts bringing up that stuff. I don't know. Maybe he starts like reminiscing or something. The acid reflux comes back in full effect, baby. Watch this bullshit.
And so
you eat often.
Yeah, I'm eating. Let me see. I'm eating probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times a day. 6, 7 times a day.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got up this morning and I was like, I'm not fucking eating. You're a fat fuck. You don't deserve food.
Good.
You hear that? You hear that acid reflux coming in? He's like, I woke up this morning. I'm like, you're a fat fuck. You don't need all that fucking. He's about to start doing it again. This is too much. How does anybody listen to this?
Yeah, I got up this morning and I was like, I'm not fucking eating. You're a fat fuck. You don't deserve food. And
good. That's a good way to talk to yourself.
Yeah, dude.
What the fuck was that, dude? This guy. Think about. I'm sorry, I'm even putting you guys through this. We did it with the Nikocado avocado. Now I'm putting you through Bert's bullshit. This guy just flat out like burps up. It just sounds so guttural and disgusting. Like he's gonna start sounding like Steve-O soon. When you burp like that, acid, all that acid from your stomach is burning up your throat. You have to figure out that shit. You know what I mean? It's not good. It's not good for the listener. It's not good for your health. Okay? Listen to this.
Good. That's a good way to talk to yourself.
Yeah. Dude, I
Christ.
talk to myself like I really hate me. I am burping a lot now that you say that.
Yeah.
See, even Tom, look at Tom's face when he does this. Tom's like, yeah, I mean, this is like really starting to get out of hand. Like, we might have to renegotiate your contract.
Talk to yourself.
Yeah. I talk to myself like I really hate me. I am burping a lot now that you say that.
Yeah.
Look at Tom's face. Tom is absolutely disgusted by this. And Tom has to put up with this at least once a week. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, they might have some time where they bank a couple episodes, different things like that. But actually, that's worse. When they got the bank episodes, they might be recording like 5 of these in a week or something. You know what? I couldn't imagine this having to put up with this all the time. But let's give it up for Tom, who puts up with it every week. Jesus Christ, I could not imagine. Oh man, listening to Bert like that is a little bit insane. But let's get into this. What's eating Ethan, Klein. Yes, let's do a little bit of that. This was, I don't really have too many crazy time codes for this. And I just found this a little bit interesting having to do with H3. They kind of want to rip off this Good Mythical Morning, right? And it's funny because we get a lot of inspiration from Red Bar, right? But I don't want to do the whole Red Bar thing. But I always end up finding myself coming into like the same loop as Red Bar. And I'll explain why in a second. So obviously I cover Ethan a lot. Red Bar also covers Ethan a lot. Red Bar also covers another group of characters called Rhett and Link. He loves shitting on these guys, and I had no idea who they were. I'm listening to Red Bar. I don't know every single thing he's making fun of, and I get the context from the show sometimes. So Rhett and Link, before hearing about Red Bar talking shit about them on the show, I didn't know what it was that they actually did. And then even hearing him talk about Rhett and Link, I still didn't piece together like the whole thing of what they are about. But they run the show, Good Mythical Morning. And Ethan, in one of the newer episodes of the H3 show, talks about like, he kind of just wants to rip off the whole Good Mythical Morning show. Now, the reason I bring this up is because Ethan's already an established creator. There's no need to have to start stealing ideas from other people and different things like that. So it's kind of something else got to be behind that, right? This is what I think is behind it. Rhett and Link, a lot of their content revolves around them reviewing food. Who do we know that is addicted to food? Could it be Mr. Ethan Klein? Ethan is crazy addicted to food. He just lost all this weight, but for some reason, I feel like in his mind, he's kind of missing the comfort that eating all that food all the time gave him, you know? And he swears he's not on Ozempic. I don't believe it for a second. He swears that he's not on Ozempic, but he's a very big supporter of Ozempic. I believe that he is 100% on Ozempic. This guy is still eating like a fucking heathen. Domino's, boba tea, fruit, acai, whatever from over here. We're getting Fat Boy sandwiches from over there. Every episode, these guys are eating smorgasbords of food. Now, they want to just do like a whole show just based off of them trying out different foods. This guy is going to be 250 sooner than you think, okay? So let's listen to this come out of Ethan's mouth. Sorry about that. For some reason, when you full screen it, it just automatically starts playing. You know, so I don't know why it does that. Listen to this.
I will look into it if you want to know.
Sure, yeah, I'll get some updates to that. All right, so I have two fun stories, and then we're going to play Dress to Impress. Capiche? But what I was saying is I think we should play more games. We should have more fun.
Okay, well, that I like.
We should do more stuff that's not, like, current events-y.
Okay.
There's, like, all these community games we could play every Friday. We can play even more than that, you know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying.
How do you guys feel about just totally ripping off Good Mythical Morning?
What the fuck? How you guys feel about just totally ripping off Good Mythical Morning? Obviously, like I said, we get a lot of inspiration from Red Bar here. I'm not necessarily completely against somebody getting inspiration from somewhere else. It's like you can take things from something you like, you can twist them into your own thing, or you can try your hardest to make them better. It's not necessarily the worst concept out there. But like I said, I don't believe that he's doing it to like freshen up the show. I feel like he's just doing it because he wants an excuse to eat his ass off every day on air. That to me is kind of what this feels like, you know? And they're kind of on board. They're like, oh yeah, we could try it. Well, let's listen to them.
Yeah, sure. Great show.
Like, the way they do it.
All they do is eat stuff.
Listen to that right there, Dan. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. Dan, very quick. Very, very quick to call out Ethan on his bullshit, which we love. So, right away, Dan's like, all they do is eat shit. It's like almost like Dan's picking up on this. You know what I mean? Sometimes Dan comes in with that hot fire when he wants to put Ethan in check. I talk about that a lot. How that's probably the only thing that I even respect about Dan. You know? So now listen, the crew, they start pushing back on this. Not because they don't like the idea. It's because, look, I almost did a little burp thing like Bert. How embarrassing would that have been? I would edit that shit out. I'd put a clown honk in there or something like that. You ain't catching me fucking lacking like that. So, it's not that they don't think it's a good idea to do this mythical morning, try out these foods and stuff. To them, it sounds very fun. It's the fact that Ethan's the one who wants to do it. Because they know how Ethan operates. You cannot get this guy to focus on a topic for more than 5 seconds, okay, on that goddamn show. To the point to where if the show has a certain title and they say in the beginning of the show's about to be this, it's about to be about this topic, you can almost guarantee that you're going to talk about maybe half of it. So what are we doing here? You know, every episode, Ethan's goes, I wonder if we're going to have time. Oh, we're not going to have time. I got to get back to the kids. Meanwhile, he's going off on different topics, staying, completely off the subject matter, talking about other different bullshit. And then fans and the crew, they start getting annoyed. So the crew already, they see, oh, this mythical morning bullshit, this is going to be exactly that. So they start pushing back. Listen to this.
It's not during the time we're there. Dan,
Which
do a
let
poll.
me check.
I'm doing a poll.
Should we become Good Mythical Morning?
Well, I think they film like 15 of those in one day, so we could come and shoot it, and then I'll see you next month.
We can can them.
Will you just bank them all? Auto upload?
Nope.
See, now this is a good point. I don't even know this guy's name. It's not Cam. Cam left. This is Ian, maybe? Fucking Ian? This guy he's so far off in the background, I always forget that this motherfucker's even there. So, this guy Ian, he's like, if we could do it, we're going to have to can the episodes. Because if we don't, we're never going to actually make this even close to Mythical Morning. Those guys, they come up, they got a solid plan, what the video is going to be like. They execute. And that's the video. That they don't do live. They're not sitting there for an hour with a bunch of filler bullshit and this, that, and the other. So Ian knows this. Right away, that's his first suggestion. If we're gonna do this, this is gonna be how we should do this.
We can can them.
Will you just bank them all? Auto upload?
No, but I like the live. We got to keep it live. I'm not, you know what I'm saying?
Well, then we can't do Mythical Morning.
Yeah,
No,
it's not the same way.
Why not?
It's not the same.
It's not
Well,
the same.
it's okay, good.
not
So
the same.
it's like we're ripping it off, but we're forcing ourselves that it has to be different because it's live.
Which I respect. That I will give to Ethan. Because, there's a lot of merit in that. If you can find something that you like, twist it, make it your own thing, without like completely doing the whole spiel, that's not necessarily the worst thing. Once again, I don't feel like that's the reason behind it. I think Ethan just wants to eat a bunch of food. But now, here's the thing. Like I said to you, I've not known too much about these Rhett and Link Good Mythical Morning guys before this whole thing. I went and checked out the show. I watched a couple episodes. These guys got a pretty fucking nice set going on here. Like, you can tell they put a lot of money into this. Not just the space itself that costs a lot. Everything in there on set, the stuff that they got that they can move around to change the set around, everything, very expensive, very nice looking. These guys clearly had a professional come in and do that. Ethan doesn't have this same thing going on with his studio. The most expensive thing about Ethan's studio is the rental space. That's it. He has a green screen set up on some poles with some fucking bath shower curtain rings. That's the background of the show. Yeah, the cameras are expensive, but once again, they don't compare to what it costs to actually be in that space. Everything else is just makeshift bullshit that these guys just either order off of Amazon or put together last minute from like IKEA or some shit. The set is dog shit. Ethan has to be worth at least $50 million, like net worth. You know what I mean? That might be what he has in his bank account between Teddy Fresh, the donations that this guy's getting from the fucking show, all this, the sponsorship deals, everything. This guy's making so much money. Yet he still insists on giving you a shit product. And the crew, they know this. They're not stupid. They sit in it. So Dan, he sits there and says, oh, well, if you really want to be like Rhett and Link, we're going to have to make some expensive upgrades to the studio. Because this shit is bullshit. And Ethan, he doesn't agree with this. Ethan's like, no, our studio is pretty nice. Listen to this. This is delusional.
Oh, shit.
They also have a nice studio. I've been in there.
Their studio is extremely nice.
Yeah, I've been there.
Extremely nice.
How about we do multiple short streams every day?
Wait, I like that. Hold on. We
Oh, that could work.
We could do Good Mythical Morning, but we're going to need a studio like theirs, Ethan.
Yeah.
What's their studio like?
Our studio's fire, bro.
What the fuck? No, it ain't. Studio's not fire, bud. The studio's not fire, okay? It's not even close to fire. That thing is barely sparking. It's not even close, okay? Having a green screen, a couple of lights, and some fucking Sony A7 IIIs is not fire studio, okay? You're either Black Magic or higher, you know? If you're gonna go Sony, go with the cinema model. This guy is shooting this show on like consumer grade cameras. Once again, he's worth like $50 million. You're going to try to emulate something, put effort into it. Put effort into it. And this is what they're saying to him right now. And he doesn't believe it. He says, what? This studio's fire. It's not, okay? And the crew knows it's not. It's you who's delusional as fuck. And this is why they don't want to do this shit. Because of this.
Hold on.
Oh, that could work.
We could do Good Mythical Morning, but we're going to need a studio like theirs, Ethan.
Yeah.
What's their studio like?
Our studio's fire, bro.
It's huge. What's the difference?
Our studio's fire. Lena's in the background. Yeah, it's huge. Our studio's huge. Okay, if you have a giant empty warehouse, it's not fire studio. The whole place has like probably nothing but like either prop storage from stupid shit that they did in the past that they're hoarders and they don't want to get rid of, or empty space. All the desks, cameras, everything is in this one spot. What else is in there? What do they have? Like a giant professional grade kitchen? Is that because I know Ethan loves to eat. What are we doing here? What are we doing? The studio's not fire. Okay, it's not fire. Dan's about to prove his point with just talking about one single studio upgrade. This is like, when you hear Dan mention this studio upgrade, this is like professional studio 101. They don't even have it. It's a lighting grid. Listen to this.
The difference, I'll tell you, because I've thought about it, is that they installed like walls to make it feel like they have like a green room for like talent, because they have actual celebrities, unlike this show.
What's on their ceiling?
Probably bullshit.
Bullshit?
Yeah, I don't know. Probably sound pads. Is that what you're getting at?
No, a grid.
A grid.
See, they have a lighting grid.
Lighting grid.
Dude, who's stopping you from putting a lighting grid?
You, motherfucker. What are you talking about? Dan has to... You think Ethan's Jewish ass is going to sit there and let Dan fucking just buy a lighting grid without consulting him about it? Let's be real here. If Dan would have made that purchase, Ethan probably would have lost his mind. Whoa, we count pennies around here. We need to save up as much money as we can get. I got 3 fucking test tube babies at home, and those bitches need to eat. Okay? Like Ethan, he's making it seem like he would make that seem like he's struggling to keep the lights on. But now, since he's getting outed live about how bad his studio fucking sucks, he wants to sit there and try to push the blame on Dan. He wants to say, well, who's stopping you from doing some shit like that? It's your fault we don't have a lighting grid, bastard. You know, we could be just as cool as Rhett and Link, Dan, but you're really hindering the progress here. Listen to this shit. This is actually wild.
They installed like walls to make it feel like they have like a green room for like talent, because they have actual celebrities, unlike this show.
What's on their ceiling?
Probably bullshit.
Bullshit?
Yeah, I don't know. Probably sound pads. Is that what you're getting at?
No, a grid.
A grid.
A lighting grid.
Dude, who's stopping you from putting a lighting grid?
What the fuck are you talking about? You own the space, Ethan, okay? You own the space. Now look at this. We're going to talk about this, and then we're going to talk about the crew being like the whitest motherfuckers you know, not knowing 2024 lingo. A little bit more on that later. I know it's vague, but this is actually kind of funny. Bear with me. So right now, before we talk about that, I want to talk about Gila's entrance here. This bitch looks like a wet fucking chihuahua. Like, she looks almost like a tranny. You know what I mean? It's a little sus. Sometimes you look at Gila, like when she was at the poker tournament, bro, she had her tits out. She was wearing that flower dress, sundress, you know. She looked a little, you know, pokeable. But then you get eyes on her on days like this. She comes in looking absolutely fucking insane. Watch this entrance and listen to how much the crew kisses her ass. And when I show you what she looks like, you're going to lose your mind.
You look
Gila's
so
here.
cool. Oh my god.
Here, let's
Here, are you showing off the new fit?
Woo.
Here, everybody, let's pause this. Let's all back out, and that way Hila can join us.
And I want to
See, listen to how much the crew kisses her ass when she walks in. Everybody, oh, you look so good. Oh my God, you look cool as hell. She doesn't. Then, even Dan's jumping in on the ass kiss, and he goes, okay, guys, let's stop. Let's stop production, okay? Dude, I don't know why, but like my fucking phone keeps like trying to play music or some shit right now. I apologize for that. So Dan stops. He's like, whoa, we got to stop production. Hila just walked in. We got to make sure that the cameras can see her. We got to pull back the angle so that we can get both of them in the shot. I'm going to tell you right now, he would have been better off leaving that shit straight on Ethan. That's saying a lot. That is saying a lot. If the camera angle would look better with just Ethan in it, that's saying a lot. So listen to how these guys kiss her ass while she's walking in. This is actually crazy to me. To me, before we get into it, to me, that makes me seem like she's a really shitty boss. Like they have to do that to like stay in her good graces and stuff. It's almost like someone who's they constantly walking on eggshells around Hila because they don't know when she's gonna like pop off, start talking shit to them, maybe threaten them with some sort of, oh, you may not get your bonus this year, okay? If you don't compliment me when I walk into the room, I might not give you your bonus for Christmas. In my country, we have second rule. It's no bonus for Christmas, okay? This is like, that's the kind of shit that I feel when I see people, your employees kissing your ass like this, okay? Like, they might as well just fucking, I don't know. I can't get over that. It's very, to me, that seems like there's a reason why they kiss your ass so hard. And I doubt that they think that you're the coolest person in the room.
So cool. Oh my god.
Here, let's
are you showing off the new fit?
Woo.
Here, everybody, let's pause this. Let's all back out, and that way Hila can join us.
And I want to make.
You see, listen to that bullshit. Let's all back out so Hila can join us, right? All that ass kissing. Watch what I'm going to show you what that ass kissing is for. This is what they think is like the coolest look that Hila could possibly have while walking in the door. She looks like Caitlyn Jenner. Okay? I'm going to warn you that right now, okay? Look at the way this bitch looks. Before I even hit play, look at this shit. She looks like that evil girl from like the Prodigy video. You ever see that? You ever see what that really fucking alien looking girl from the Prodigy video looks like? If you haven't, look it up, okay? Or I got one even better for you. She kind of, I'm going to save that one. Hold on, I'm going to save. We're not going to say that one just yet. Let's watch a little bit, okay? Hold on here. Let's get a good look at Hila.
Very precise, and it's so nice. Thank you. I think it's so nice. You know what I'm saying? And this is a nice jacket too. Oh, that's nice. That's nice denim, dude.
Thanks.
Yeah. Thanks. Oh my God, look at this shit. She looks insane. So she's got like extensions in her hair. They're these like really janky looking braids coming, like the braid coming off her forehead looks so kinked and fucked. It's like every single like braid that they tightened, like every new, I guess, knot you would say in the braid that they make, when they tightened it at like different like tensions like each time. It looks like one part of the braid is tightened super tight, Then a couple inches down, it's a little looser and fatter. And then it goes down a little bit more. There's some of the braids kind of poking out a little bit. They're not all super tight. It kind of looks like long pieces of shit rolling off her forehead. Then she has like this star henna tattoo over her right eye. Looks absolutely insane. She looks, okay, you know what she really reminds me of? I'm gonna back out for a second and look this up. And I'm going to give you an idea of what I feel like she looks like right now. So there was this old Foo Fighter video, right? Where David Grohl was like getting on a plane. He played like every character in the video. You know, it didn't matter what the character was. Dave played like everybody. And one of the characters was a girl. It was like a little like teenage girl. Now, obviously, with Dave Grohl, he doesn't look like a teenage girl, even when he was young. So it looked very out of place. But it was funny because it was part of the humor of the music video. He kind of looks like Dave Grohl did in that music video. Look at this. Look at this shit. You trying to tell me if this guy didn't have a couple of those janky-ass braids coming off of the forehead and a star henna tattoo over his right eye with some red glasses, that he would not look exactly like this? That's crazy, right? Like Dave actually looks just like Gila. Let me see if I could get like a side-by-side. Can we do like a side-by-side? Let's see. Yeah, I think we could still do a side-by-side. Okay? I'm obviously having a lot of trouble here, but we're going to make it work. So she looks just like Dave Grohl in this photo. It's actually insane. Let me get this right there and then put that a little bit right there. Okay. Forget it. We're abandoning it. She looks like Dave Grohl, okay? I'm going to show you it one more time. She looks just like Dave Grohl. The bit is ruined because the computer has fucked it all up for me. And obviously it's user error, but we're not going to mention that, okay? So now let's get into the other set of time codes that I got for Ethan before we go and take our smoke break. Now, remember I was telling you how like the crew, they get made fun of for being like the whitest kids in the world. It's actually hilarious because they start talking about, in a newer episode, they start talking about this Ice Spice drama, right? And we're not going to get into that whole thing, but during it, they start looking over these TikToks that Ice Spice was having like this problem with some girl she brought on tour, and the girl's talking real ghetto. That's like, you know, that's the whole Ice Spice thing. You know, you a munch. You a fucking munch, man. You just motherfucker getting me tight as a motherfucker, right? You know what I mean? Shit like that. Now, during them covering this whole Ice Spice idea, they start hearing this chick saying like mad ebonics. You know, a lot of ebonics happening during this. But they don't understand what this girl is actually saying. And it's probably one of the funniest things I've heard in a long time. Listen to this.
It's one.
If someone has Trapper in the name, I'm not carrying their bag either. I'm not touching it.
Olivia, I had a quick question.
Yes.
She refers to being tight. Now, does that mean she's low on cash or is she wearing tight clothes? What is she?
What the fuck?
Sometimes I don't know how fucking cringy and ridiculous I sound.
So this is like one of the dudes that they do the See You Next Tuesday with. I'm not a member of the H3, so I don't see this guy a whole lot. Just when they pull him out of hibernation or whatever the fuck it is that they got going on with him. I don't even know this guy's name, but he's clearly the whitest guy that you've ever seen in your entire life, okay? You can tell just by the way he's wearing the beanie. So this guy, he starts talking about how this girl in this video of her talking about Ice Spice, she's saying how she was mad tight, you know? She got real tight over this situation. Now, if you're somebody who even understands like a little bit of pop culture, you know that when somebody is mad tight, it just means that they're really angry. That's all it means. They're tight, they're wound up, they're angry as fuck. Okay? That's all that means. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure that shit out. If you even know somebody, like I'm 36, right? You know somebody who's 30, you should know what that word means. If you have even one friend if you're 36 and you have a friend who's even 30 years old, you should know what it means to be mad tight. They don't. Listen to this. This is hilarious. It's like the whitest people in the world trying to figure this out. Listen to this.
Trapper in the name. I'm not carrying their bag either. I'm not touching it.
Olivia, I had a quick question.
Yes.
She refers to being tight. Now, does that mean she's low on cash or she wearing tight clothes? What is she referring to?
Or famous? What was she?
Yeah,
what did that mean?
She said,
I'm
really
gonna be
tight.
honest.
Yeah, I wasn't sure.
I don't
What that
know
meant.
if I know.
What?
I'm tight.
Yeah.
I think it means. When did she say it?
She said it.
She said like.
She said, I'm really tight right now.
Before she goes in the.
Now listen to this. You hear, this is like, if you dropped if you could go back in time, right? And you could drop like a saw in the middle of a group of cavemen, it would be like them trying to figure out what the fuck is going on. This is what this is like. They're like discovering fire or something. They don't know what to do with it. Listening to them try to figure this out is hilarious. It's the whitest people in the world trying to figure out commonplace pop culture. It has to be, this is like, if it's not, you couldn't write better satire than this. Okay? Listen to these guys.
I don't know if I know.
What?
I'm tight.
Yeah.
I think it means. When did she say it?
She said it.
She said like.
She said, I'm really tight right now.
Before she goes in the rain.
In context,
She's not talking about money because
no,
she
it's
goes
in
on to
context
say
of
that.
not wanting to carry the bags. I thought.
Yeah, maybe just like I'm
I
mad.
think she's in a tight outfit. She's in low
That's what I thought.
mobility. Low.
What the fuck is that? So now Ethan, listen to this bullshit. This is so funny. So Ethan says he's the master. He knows. He's Mr. Know-It-All. He's like, I know exactly what it means. It means she's wearing tight clothes. She doesn't have mobility, so she can't carry her bags that well. And that's what she's tight about. The girl, she was dealing with some Ice Spice drama because Ice Spice's security wouldn't carry her luggage while they were on tour. That's the big context here. So the girl said, her security wouldn't carry my bags. I got mad tight. Now they're trying to figure it all out. Ethan puts the context together. He goes, well, she didn't want to carry her bags, right? And she was probably wearing very tight clothing because they're on tour. They like to do that like twerking thing, right? Where they're clapping their cheeks together and stuff like that. So I would imagine her clothes are very, very tight. So it has to do with the fact that she's very tight and she can't move around that much because her clothes are so tight, right? This is what Ethan's figured out. They actually buy this bullshit. Listen to this.
Yeah, I wasn't sure.
I don't
What that
know
meant.
if I know.
What?
I'm tight.
Yeah.
I think it means. When did she say it?
She said it.
She said like.
She said, I'm really tight right now.
Before she goes in the rain.
In context,
She's not talking about money because
no,
she
it's
goes
in
on to
context
say
of
that.
not wanting to carry the bags. I thought.
Yeah, maybe just like I'm
I
mad.
think she's in a tight outfit. She's in low
That's what I thought.
mobility. Low mobility.
Oh,
Okay.
okay, maybe.
Yeah.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Ethan has to be for somebody whose whole job is to like keep their finger on the pulse when it comes to internet culture. The fact that you don't know what that means, you might as well just pack it up and retire, dude. Like what? You have to know what this means. You have to know what this means. If your whole job is to just pick apart pop culture bullshit, you don't know what the fucking word tight means. You have to get this, okay? So this right here is asinine to me. On top of it being funny, it just goes to prove to you how fucking lazy Ethan is. Now listen to this. The crew, they start feeling a little tight when they find out what the definition of the word actually means. Watch this.
People.
Well, no, actually, she asked, and they didn't have enough room. And then one day, she was told she could bring an assistant, and then after that show, she was told the assistant had to go.
By
the way,
why?
feeling tight is being mad.
Yeah, I was just seeing
thank you.
chat.
Also, everybody's saying we're dumb and white for not knowing
I'm old.
that.
You are dumb and white for not knowing that. Listen to that. Dan being the only one who, like, that's the one thing about these know-it-all types like Dan, that it can actually be good at times. Is like, since Dan is such a know-it-all, when nobody could figure it out, Dan started doing some research. He started checking the chat, seeing what they were saying about it. And the chat is saying, hey, you dumb white retards. The word tight means to be angry. You're idiots and you're white for not knowing that, right? So Dan's figured it out now. The chat has helped. Okay, now listen to how upset they get when the chat starts calling them dumb white idiots for this.
Is being mad.
Yeah, I was just seeing
thank you.
chat.
Also, everybody's saying we're dumb and white for not
Yeah,
knowing
I'm old
that.
and white.
So,
I don't expect me to know.
Yeah.
I don't know. The rest of you should.
I was gonna be Dio, so.
Dumb.
Why would you call us dumb?
Take my.
Listen to that shit. He was so upset. You heard that silence, that pause right there. Every single one of them looking down like, we really are that stupid. Look at all their faces. Ethan, he's doing a little bit of that Tourette's twitch with the wrist. Love is looking down. He's like, I'm ashamed. I should know this. Lena looking down. Gila looking down. AB doesn't give a fuck. AB probably knew what it meant the whole time. He didn't say anything. He's like, finally, I can sit back and watch as these guys look like assholes. You know, he's probably reveling in this. This guy don't give a shit because he really is the whitest guy that you're ever going to meet in his life. He's like, I don't need to know this shit. I'm fucking rich and white. You know, all of them are ashamed. And then listen to the silence. And then they start getting upset. Why would you call Gila? Why would you call us dumb? Why would you call us dumb like that? It's so inappropriate. Okay?
Also.
Dumb.
Why would you call us dumb?
Take my bags with me to
Because you're fucking dumb.
the venue. You said that was it was smart.
So she's
for me to take my
confronting
bags
her.
And the reason why.
Tight needs mad?
And you
I've
even told me
literally
to tell
never
your
heard it
security
used like
to
that my
bring the-
entire life.
It's because you're a fucking loser. Okay? That's the funniest part. Ethan is so upset that he's like, I've never heard it like that. That's bullshit. Why are we that's not cool. You're a fucking idiot. That's why. Okay? So just because you've never heard it doesn't mean that everybody else has not heard it, okay? You happen to be out of the loop this one time. You can't handle it? Okay? Sorry, bud. That's just the way it works. So that'll be the end of the What's Eating Ethan Klein segment. Let's get a little bit of music going, and then we could start having that little bit of a smoke break that we're about to do. You feel me? Let's give it up and enjoy the smoke break on Lost Aux Media.
I have dreamed of this for a long time, held my breath for a while. Can feel the winds on fire. When we kiss the walls, they are steaming and we burn like a fire. Do we have to lose? Or do you have to go home? Throw away the shoes and go on with the flow. Or do you have to lose? The world can just go on without you for a while. These lips were made for you. Or do you have to lose?
Don't get too into it with the weed, guys. You know, we still got a little bit more people to talk about during this beautiful episode of Lost Aux Media. Let's enjoy these tunes and then get right back into it.
Since I saw your set of eyes moving really slow, I took some time to play out my cards, trying to lower down your guard. Or do you have to lose? Or do you have to go home? Throw away the shoes and go on with the flow. Or do you have to lose? The world can just go on without you for a while. 'Cause of you, these lips were made for you. Or do you have to lose? These lips were made for you.
Ooh la la.
Our conclusion, we just follow the rhythm. Sat right in position. Post the word for a minute.
Oh yeah.
Our conclusion, and we just follow the rhythm.
So like I was saying to you guys earlier, went axe throwing over the weekend. Actually, yesterday I went axe throwing. I gotta tell you, I now, officially, you're hearing it first here, I'm quitting everything, including this show, to become a professional axe thrower. Yes, you heard it here first. This is the last episode of Lost Aux Media. I'm sorry to break it to you guys. But axe throwing is too goddamn good. I'm sorry. It's that fun. Like, I wasn't expecting this. I walked into that place being like, you know, I was going on like a date, which is awesome. It was a very nice girl I met. Wanted to go axe throwing. I walked into that bitch just being like, oh, I'm going to shoot the shit with this girl. She's very nice. Throw some axes. I'm probably not even going to get any into the wall, you know? But we're just here to shoot the shit and have a good time. I was a fucking natural. I was every time sinking them right into the goddamn wood. Every single time. It got to the point, all the different targets they had on there and stuff, I'm sitting there John Wicking the shit. I'm laser beaming like, whatcha? 2,000 points. Like, I didn't even know you could get 2,000 points. They're coming up to me in the shop, like, I'm really impressing this girl. They're coming up to me, yo, you want to join the professional team? We do the tournaments. We're playing for big money. Said, count me in. I will 100% give up everything for axe throwing, okay? You heard it here first. Axe throwing is now my new identity. Let's listen to a little bit of music, finish up these puffs, get right back into another good old segment on Lost Aux Media. Woo!
Smoke up, that's in the blend. Free up the guys and dip out the ends. Jump in the ride and burn out the rims. Don't stop, don't touch the boy that I'm in. Look for the up for events. Skin kept close to you, plotting on them with the tints on 10. Batch in the back that's on tap, all ready to go and jump in. Never keep it real in the ends. Never leave crib where the ends. Me and that kid, we don't even need to pretend. Me and like them, never keep it real in my face or the car with snakes. Watch them fit from my wave they cut. That's so deep, if they don't teach. Don't feel it was like I was driving on none.
Anybody even listen to this kind of shit anymore?
Anybody even listen to this kind of shit anymore? You even listen to Lost Aux Media anymore? What are you, a fucking loser? Alright, so let's get back into it, ladies and gentlemen. Really quick, I wanted to talk about this Logan Paul reacting to this Lunchables situation. Kind of funny because Lunchables is like Logan Paul, KSI, and Mr. Beast. They started a company, they called it Lunchables, and if you can't guess, the whole thing behind it is them wanting to rip off Lunchables, you know? That's their whole spiel here. They want to completely and utterly base their entire careers off of children. I don't know about you, but I find that a little sus. Okay? And it's funny, Logan, while he's trying to defend himself, he kind of brings this point up. He says, you guys are all hating because I'm an influencer, but as I get older, I want to start businesses too. Okay, that's cool. Here's the problem. You're a fucking adult, man. So you want to start a business? Start a business for adults. What are we trying to do this Lunchable rip-off bullshit? And the biggest thing that people have a problem with is not the fact that he's trying to do this. It's the fact that they're trying to do it and undercut the competition by almost like making the Lunchables kind of a worse for children. And it's not necessarily because they are jam-packed full of more sugar and things like that. They're actually worse because of what they don't have in them. So they're doing basically the whole standard Lunchables thing. They got a little pizza, you know, you put the little ketchup on it, a couple sprinkles of mozzarella, it comes with a little snack, which happens to be a full-size Mr. Beast chocolate bar. A lot of sugar, and then a little mini prime it comes with, right? That's the only difference between them and Lunchables. Then they have the nachos, same old Lunchable shit, and then they had the little turkey and cheese on the cracker, you know? This is all very standard Lunchable stuff. But they're advertising it, Logan Paul in particular, they're like, oh, it's jam-packed full of electrolytes, it's only got X amount of calories in it, there's like only a little bit of sugar in it, it's a better product. But the thing that people are harping on them for is kids need a lot of calories. They don't necessarily like need electrolytes a whole lot. They're going to get juices, whatever. They're going to be fine on that. But what they need is energy. And they need calories to grow and become big old buff adults like you, Logan. So when you come out with the product and you say, hey, it doesn't have a lot of that stuff, parents start getting a little skeptical. And they get even more skeptical when they find out that all 3 people behind the company making this product do not have children. So you're making a product that you have no fucking idea what the fuck children even need. You're trying to advertise it as better than the competition. It doesn't even have the proper amount of calories in it. And this is what he's defending. Let's take a listen to what Logan Paul has to say about this.
You in labor?
No.
Jesus fucking Christ. I'm sorry. Right away. What the fuck is this?
You in labor?
You in labor? You in labor? Who is this? This bitch is about to spawn any second now a fucking evil Logan Paul Jr. That's a good way to start the video. Logan starts the video, for those of you listening at home, with his gigantic pregnant wife running through the middle of the frame with their huge ass stomach hanging out. People don't want to see this shit, okay? You're pregnant, congratulations. I don't give a fuck. Keep your huge wife out of my screen, okay? You understand now?
You in labor?
No.
It's any second now.
What happened to YouTubers, man? I can't not say anything anymore. This is selling stuff for the sake of making money. How does this benefit their fans? Do better. Do better.
That's exactly how I interpreted it as well.
Okay, so now this is how they react to this. Remember last time someone reacted to a serious situation like this? Remember when Ethan chewed out AB live on air? And his reaction was to make fun of the whole situation instead of addressing it properly. You remember that? Kind of what's happening here, if you ask me. So KSI is sitting there making fun of like the most viral tweet calling these guys out. The guy's basically saying, I can't just not sit back and not say anything anymore. Like these creators, they try to start these businesses and the businesses are just for the sake of making money. Like it's disgusting that these guys are doing this to their fans. You need to do better. You know, and this is their response to it. KSI, he wants to joke around about it and say, oh, you guys, you don't even know what you're talking about, right? And Logan, he's obviously going to be on board with his business partner, like only a bad business partner wouldn't. So let's listen to Logan defending his awesome new buddy, KSI.
Like, let me put this in the context. Imagine being a motherfucker who's angry that we made this. Crackers, bro? You mad because we made crackers? This is what you're mad about? Bruh. It's a turkey, real cheese, and cracker stack.
So there you go, Logan, stealing all of my sound bites, guys. The fuck you doing, bro? They're going to think it's me. The listeners are going to think it's me doing that. Can you calm down, okay? Because we're going to be covering you a lot with this. So now listen, Logan, he tries to get a little bit ebonics in there. He probably knows what the word tight means. You hear the way he's talking? He's like, yo, these motherfuckers, they getting all upset over some crackers, dog? They getting upset over some cheese and crackers, dog? Like, what the fuck? You know? Why y'all stepping on my dick over some cheese and crackers? That's what y'all getting upset about? He's going to take a bite out of the crackers to prove to you that the crackers are awesome. Listen to this.
Crackers? This is what you're mad about? Bruh. It's a turkey, real cheese, and cracker stack. And by the way, it's great. I mean, yes, we made nachos as well with queso, but I think if you're getting mad about nachos, that's a you problem. Oh,
is it? Is it a me problem? Okay. If the nachos are full of bullshit and I get upset and don't want to feed it to my kids, all of a sudden it's a me problem? Huh? You can't take responsibility for this? And this is the kind of shit that we're going to see, is just him kind of being like, it's all not true. This guy even goes to call out community notes, right? Which he might be maybe right. I don't know. I don't know too much about community notes. I thought it was like a bunch of people kind of doing like a Reuters type situation or something, you know? Like they're really putting effort into checking out these facts. Because Logan's been trying to defend this Lunchly. They've been fucking his shit up in the goddamn community notes left and right. So now listen to him. He's about to call out the community notes and be like, they're liars. They're losers who sit behind computers. And their opinions are what get published on the community notes. No facts.
Calling JJ a corporate sellout.
this confuses me. I remember a time when like success and dreams used to be celebrated. And now it's like, and this was my response to Dan TDM, we've spent our whole lives creating content and now we want to build businesses. Seems like a natural arc for any young, ambitious adult. And without...
Let's calm down there. Listen to what you just said, Logan. You said that seems like a young or a nice, ambitious thing for any young adult, right? Yeah, adult. That's the key word here. We need to think about adult. You're so into like this fitness, this wrestling, these things like that. Why don't you make some products for adults? What is this fascination with Mr. Beast, KSI, and you always just marketing everything to children? That seems a little bit suspicious to me. Okay? Like, it'd be very weird if I was making content for children, especially with this mustache. Okay? So, I'm 36. You're like about to be 30. It's like, okay, when are we going to grow up? That's also part of this. This is also another thing that people are like, isn't it kind of creepy? And then on top of that, you make this product for children with like the #1 YouTuber who's getting like a bunch of flack for a bunch of grooming, shit like that in his organization. Okay, so there's going to be people who hate you because of that as well, because you're partnering up with that person. There are so many levels of hatred that people have for you and this product. It's like you can't defend it almost, but you're going to sit here and try, and we're going to watch, okay?
Without even trying the meal, just seeing a headline, it is met with hate, resistance, disgust. You don't know anything about this product, and the people that think they know about it still don't know about it. I went to war with Community Notes the other day. X's regulatory body of truth, but they lie. The whole system is littered with lies because Community Notes is just it's exactly that. It's a community of contributors contributing what their point of view is, not the truth, their point of view, and if their point of view gets enough votes, it gets marked on the tweet. But that's crazy to me because if you're a polarizing person like me, because the contributors, by the way, who are not my fans, these are people who sit online all day, they don't go outside, they don't smell the grass, sit at the computer all day, they'll come up with something that fits their narrative or might make your tweet look bad so other people can ratio you, and oh my god.
Okay, so now he's talking about this ratio bullshit, Community Notes, all that, right? Sitting here making it seem like they're lying. You know what you should do? You should sue them. You should sue every single one of them that are community noting your posts. You should sue all of them the same way you're trying to sue CoffeeZilla. I think that would really show them you got the money for it. Why not start putting it to work, my friend? I mean, if you believe in this product that much, if this is not just another one of your like want to get quick rich scheme, money grab type things, you know, then you should sue them. That'd be pretty damn righteous. I think that people would be like on your side with that, you know? So now, like I was saying earlier, this thing is like not full of the stuff it's supposed to have. Like, yeah, it's got 400 milligrams of electrolytes, blah, blah, blah. It's got like no calories in it, okay? Listen to him talk about the nutritional facts, okay? This is rich.
People were making like a thing out of it. I think I saw like 4 tweets from like small accounts that were like, I want to ratio Logan Paul.
We got stuck in that time code, of course. Let's get that. There's 2. Oh, no, not yet. Let's talk.
People were making like a thing out of it. I think these people will go through life and that'll be their greatest accomplishment. And if I can help with that, I'm so happy to. But yeah, Community Notes lies. I had a sports MD doctor on one of my tweets. Lie.
What lying for?
But I'm like, bro, it's not sodium. It's the 400 milligrams of electrolytes that we mentioned in the drink. And I had.
Anybody know what electrolytes are? Anybody? Anybody in the audience? You know what like is one of the bigger electrolytes that people tend to put in these hydration drinks? It's sodium. So this guy, this fucking retard, is sitting there thinking that he's like pulling one off. Like he's like, they don't even know what they're talking about. Electrolytes equals sodium. I hate to tell you that. I hate to be that guy. But that health professional, he knew exactly what he was talking about, okay? And you sitting here looking like a goddamn villain doesn't make it any better, okay? Listen to this guy.
Exactly what I said. Also, I think there's like a misunderstanding with how like hate is received by people. I'm so used to this shit. In fact, I get paid for this shit. I literally make a living off of people not liking me. And I have to be honest with you, it's fantastic.
So you're trying to tell me that this guy is not pulling some shady shit? This is like P. Diddy level talk, okay? To sit there and be like, man, I play you all like a fiddle, you know? I make a living off of the fact that people don't like me. That's not a good thing, bro. That's not a good thing. If every single person in your life hates you, that's not good, okay? You might be making money off of it and shit like that, but think about how lonely that life is. Think about your relationship, right? Everyone hates you so much that you're in a married relationship and you're about to have a kid. Dylan Danish is trashing your wife all over the internet. No one defends you. That's like some type of shit that normal people would be like, leave the girl out of it. We only hate you. But no, they hate you so much that even the people in your general vicinity will get all the smoke. Nobody will defend them. That's how much people hate you. So this whole, oh man, I'm making a living off of people not liking me and this Lunchly thing, people just really got to get over it. They don't got to get over it. You just got to grow the fuck up. So let's give it up for Logan Paul, who just never ceases to amaze me. I'm curious as to where that CoffeeZilla little lawsuit's going to end up going, because I don't see that working out too good for Logan Paul. It's kind of like a lose-lose situation. So I wanted to get into this. We'll end the show on this Haliey Welch and this third episode of this Talk Tuah. A little bit more interesting than the other two, but like still, I'm telling you, I don't even know why they would do the episodes like in the order that they've been doing them. They did a celebrity and then no celebrity, and now we're going back to celebrity. And I'm telling you, that no celebrity, you're going to expect to see more of these, because as people catch on to how dumb this fucking bitch in her show is, they're going to start not wanting to show up to that thing. Remember we talked about Dave Portnoy? Dave Portnoy's like, you couldn't pay me to be on that goddamn show. So this is like what we're dealing with. So now they got Caitlin Bristow on. I don't know shit about this girl. You know, I'm here for the Talk Tuah, okay? So Caitlin Bristow, apparently she was like on The Bachelorette or The Bachelor, something like that. She started her career in reality TV. And now she's here on the Haliey Welch Talk Tuah podcast. And you can already tell just from like watching these two interact with each other that this Talk Tuah chick has like not been tainted by Hollywood in the slightest yet. You know, which is maybe that's what people are holding on to. It's going to change very, very fast. You ever see like a European woman or guy come over here? They get Americanized real quick. So, you know, you can get absorbed in this shit quick. For now, she's good. I think that's like what's happening here is like this Bristow girl is all Hollywood. She's got like 12 different therapists. She does all these things. And Haliey is like still very much like a hometown Tennessee chick. So she kind of doesn't relate to all this. And Caitlin looks at her as if she's like this cute little puppy dog because of it. She's like, Mo, it's so cute that Hollywood has not completely fucked you up yet. You know? It's nice. I could do this all day hanging out with you. It's like this Bristow chick looks at Haliey like a novelty, you know? And you could see right in the beginning, this Caitlin Bristow girl starts talking about like her Hollywood bullshit, you know, like her therapist, like I said, the stuff that she does. I feel like everybody in Hollywood is like detached like to reality, and they try to do this stuff to like make themselves feel less guilty or whatever the situation may be. Kind of strange to like already be starting off the episode like this. Let's listen to this.
Quite often, actually.
Do you really?
Oh my gosh. I've got a thank you.
Well, of course.
I've got a therapist.
Well, of course. Okay, yeah. That's no problem at all. I'll give you a t-shirt saying Talk Tuah on it. That's no problem. Of course. Thank you. No problem, girl.
I've got a thank you.
Well, of course.
I've got a therapist. I've got a life coach. I've got a spiritual coach. I've got it all. I am locked and loaded with tools, yet still I'm 39 and not married.
What the fuck? Send that bitch away. Dude, she has every coach in the goddamn book. And this chick is still talking about how she's single, not married, no kids. Bitch, you're crazy. This is what I'm talking about. All this Hollywood glitz and glamour, you could be a 10 and a half, 11 on the outside. If you got all that stuff going on, it's like, what is it all for? If you're just like an empty shell of a person that needs coaching in every single aspect of your life, well, what is the money even for? And here's the bigger question to me. What does that say about us as people that we empower these types of people? What does that say about us? Are we really that fucking dumb as a society that we're going to give people millions of dollars that can't even navigate throughout their own lives without being coached in every single step of the way? Kind of crazy, right? Seems almost ridiculous, right? You're going to hear her even talk about how ridiculous it is because now she's talking to Talk Tuah, who's a regular person. She's not some Hollywood schmuck that's going to be like, yeah, I got all them things too. She's going to look at you like you're fucking crazy because you are. Listen to this.
Loaded with tools, yet still I'm 39 and not married.
What does a spiritual coach do?
We go through visualizations. We like go into our higher selves. I talk to my inner child. It's quite ridiculous.
Talk to your inner child?
Yeah.
See, so even these two are like, what the fuck you mean talk to your inner child? So like this girl, Caitlyn, now she's talking about all this Hollywood shit that like if she was at a party somewhere in like Beverly Hills, she'd be saying all this shit, right? Everybody she'd be talking to would be like, oh, that's so awesome. I got one of those too, spiritual coach. Yeah, what do you got, Gary? Over? They'd be all about that. She's not talking to some Hollywood person. She's talking to a regular person like you and me. So if somebody came to me, if I went to work tomorrow and some guy comes up to me, he goes, I got a coach for this, 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 I got a coach. Send that motherfucker to the loony bin, right? In Hollywood, these people think that this is normal. Now that this girl is saying it out loud to somebody who's actually normal, she realizes that she sounds fucking crazy.
You guys are still kids, though. That's why you can't do it.
Oh.
Yeah.
If I saw
You'd
my
be like,
younger
hey.
self, I'd be like, who the fuck gave you those bangs, bitch? Stop.
So they start talking, oh, this is what it would be like if we talk to our inner child. So right away, she's starting this whole thing to a bad start. You know, she's already kind of creating a great divide between her and Miss Welch. Like, hey, I'm Hollywood, you're not. But this whole interaction, this is cute as a button. I'm loving this. And they're about to start talking about it now. You're going to see the way Miss Caitlyn really views this hangout as like a novelty thing. By the way, she kind of expresses how cute this is, this little hangout. Watch this.
This is what I just talked about editing. We can edit this out later.
Are you talking about Mr. Pinky?
No.
Okay, that's what I thought you were
but
going.
you just brought it up.
Mr. Pinky?
Yeah, that's what I thought you were going with. That's why I was like, Chelsea.
So now they're talking about an inside joke. You know, these girls, they're like 21 years old coming from Tennessee. They probably got 1 million of them. 1 million of these inside jokes. And Caitlyn kind of feels a little bit left out. She's like, Mr. Pinky? Well, I want you to tell me about Mr. Pinky. They don't. They go, bitch, that's not for you. So it's kind of, maybe this is what people like. I might be coming around. Maybe this is what people like about this Talk Tuah. If she can stay completely untainted to where she's just making asses out of every single celebrity that comes through that bitch, count me in. Okay? I can be on board with that. And I kind of feel like this is what's happening here a little bit. Right? You know? Now watch. Caitlyn, she's about to express this is so cute hanging out with you guys. I could do this all day.
Shut your mouth.
No. So we were planning on going.
Introduce me to Mr. Pinky. I don't know.
No. Okay. Oh my God.
Denied. De-fucking-nied. They're not going to tell you shit, okay? They're not going to tell you shit, you Hollywood schmuck.
I could sit here.
Okay, so this weekend we were going to go.
So listen, that's just, she goes, I could sit here all day with you guys. Watch.
Oh my God, I could sit here.
Okay, so this week.
You could sit here all day with them? Yeah? They can't relate to you. Okay? So why would you be sitting there all day? You want to sit there and try to soak up some hometown living? You know what I mean? That's not what Haliey signed up for. This bitch is trying to get rich, goddammit. Okay? Now here's a little common theme that I started noticing watching these episodes of this Talk Tuah. Very interesting. This chick is violent. That's one hometown thing that it's gonna be hard for her to shake that. This Talk Tuah, she's one of those girls that if you're dating her, you do something wrong on accident, she's going to backhand you, you know? And she's like going to think that she could get away with it because she's a girl. She weighs like 95 pounds, you know? She's like one of them. This is not the type of people that you want in your life. I'm going to warn you right now. Mark my words. When this chick starts getting famous enough, she starts dating dudes in Hollywood. Because this whole Pookie thing that this guy she's obsessed with now from Tennessee, that shit ain't gonna last when Bad Bunny starts walking into your goddamn dressing room to meet you. Okay? So, she's gonna start dating some Hollywood dude somewhere down the line. This is gonna be Chris Brown, but she is gonna be the attacker. You know what I mean? She's gonna really be fucking lacing bitches up. And watch, you're gonna hear it right out of her mouth. She's referring to Pookie now. Give it 5 years. She's gonna be like beating the fuck out of Matt Rife or something like that. Watch, listen.
Another reason you can't introduce him to the world. If
I'm
you're
jealous.
Really
jealous.
Do you think that's an age thing? Because I was really jealous at your age too.
Did you get over it?
I did.
So they're talking about this Pookie guy. Pookie is like Hawk Tuah's boyfriend. She's in love with him. And she doesn't do touching and stuff like that. She doesn't do displays of affection. So the fact that she even lets this guy like into the same room as her is like amazing. You know, everybody thinks that's awesome. And she's so jealous of this guy. And she starts talking about it. And this is where you're going to hear yet another violent notion from Miss Hawk Tuah. She was talking about being violent in the last episode too. She backhanded one of her ex-boyfriends for accidentally spilling like Kool-Aid on her dress or something like that. Like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? So now listen, this bitch is unhinged.
I don't think I have a jealous bone in my body now. Like, I'm almost turned on if somebody's flirting with the guy. Yeah.
You belong in a psychiatric ward.
She does.
That is fact, yes. But no, okay, maybe I'm taking it too far, but I'm like, I don't know. I think that's because I have 8 therapists.
Maybe I should get 8 therapists and I won't
It's
be
taken me
jealous
10
anymore.
years to build up this confidence, and it's still lacking.
If I was to like see another woman bat their eyes at him, I'm gonna have to strangle her until she like falls out on the floor, turning purple.
No.
See what I'm talking about here? So this chick right now, like, she's over a DM? You gonna strangle some bitch over a DM? Okay, if that's what we're doing, like, that's a little off, you know. And we're gonna touch on the violent stuff again a little bit later. She's gonna bring up these violent tendencies that she happens to have. But this was kind of funny. This next thing that we're gonna go over. So, if you know anything about seeing her on podcasts, even before her getting this podcast, she's very obsessed with Matt Rife. She thinks Matt Rife is like the bee's knees. That's like her celebrity crush, right? And they start asking each other, like, have you ever had a celebrity crush? Have you ever had a dream about a celebrity crush, right? And Miss Welch has like probably the scariest Matt Rife dream that you're ever going to hear in your life. It's really going to fuck your shit up. And it's kind of hilarious. Like, if you picture what she starts talking about in your mind as she's talking about it, it really paints like a horror movie type scenario in your mind, you know? Like, I want you to close your eyes for this and actually visualize the things that are going to come out of her mouth while she's explaining this dream, and visualize them in your head. And remember, the whole dream is about Matt Rife. Listen to this. This is actually crazy. This is one of the craziest nightmares anyone could ever have.
I want to figure out your celebrity crush. You've never had like had like a dream about a celebrity where you're like, that was too real, and it.
No.
Oh, have you?
So I actually had a dream about Matt Rife a few weeks ago, and it like traumatized me a little bit. Like, I pushed the pillow plumb off my bed for a few days. I was like,
don't look at me.
I was like, whoa, brother, get on somewhere, you know?
Why? What happened?
So I had a dream. It was like after one of his shows, and it was like the hallway, like I guess where they get ready backstage and stuff like that after one of his shows. Everybody else already left besides like the janitors and stuff. They're cleaning, and then they all
this is
disappeared.
specific. Okay.
And
So now, Miss Welch, she said, okay, the dream started out kind of good. Went to a Matt Rife show. We were having a rip snorting good time. I was slapping knees and the whole goddamn thing, you know? And then the show is over, and now all the lights start going off, you know? And it's pretty much just me and like the janitors, that's the only people left in the whole venue. So now right there, my ears, they started perking up. I was like, whoa, what is happening here? Is she about to get like completely railed out by Matt Rife? I don't know. I kept listening and I was met with this.
And then the lights like got dimmed, like everything was gone. I was like, what's going on here?
Did Endless Love come on?
No. No, this shit like had me fucked up. I woke up sweating.
Oh,
I
it was
like,
bad?
Yeah.
Oh.
This man, he come out and he was like, just give me a minute, I'll be right back. I was like, oh, okay.
So Matt Rife now, he comes out of his dressing room. Haliey Welch, it's just her and like one creepy janitor over in the corner. All the lights are dimmed. Nobody left in the venue. Matt Rife comes out of his dressing room. He goes, hey, man, you just give me 1 second. I'm getting ready for something, I'm going to be out to hang out with you in just a minute. So that's the vibe that we're getting here. Does it get crazier? Yes.
Oh.
This man, he come out and he was like, just give me a minute, I'll be right back. I was like, oh, okay. He comes back and he's like looking at me awful weird. So I was like, okay, I need to get away from him. I start running from him and hide in this closet, and there's a bunch of dead girls in this closet.
Jesus Christ.
What the fuck?
So, right there, Matt Rife, she says that he comes back out, he starts giving her the creepy eye. Like one of those Nikocado avocado stares. He starts getting real weird on her. Right? And she picks up on this in the dream. She's like, whoa, what's happening here? You're starting to freak me out, buddy. Like, please, can we be cool? But he keeps giving her the look. He starts chasing her down the hallway. She hides in a closet. The closet is full of dead women. Where are all those dead women coming from, huh? Huh? Riddle me that, Batman. Riddle me that.
Get away from him. I start running from him and hide in this closet, and there's a bunch of dead girls in this closet. When I get in it, he's like killed, And I'm like, what the fuck? He opens the door and finds me, and I like dart in between his legs and run out, and then I'm in a
Oh, that is scary. So she's in the closet right now? Now she's in the closet with a bunch, there's dead women everywhere. Matt Rife has slaughtered them all. And he didn't do it with crowd work. I'm going to tell you that right now. He didn't do it with the crowd work. So she's in the closet, bunch of dead girls. Matt's in the hallway, sniffing her out. He's trying to find her. And he's closing in. He's getting real close. Now he gets to the closet door and he rips it open. And she freaks out. She darts between his legs to try to escape. This is the fate that she's found herself in this horrific nightmare with Matt Rife. Listen close as this horror unfolds.
fuck. He opens the door and finds me, and I like dart in between his legs and run out, and then I'm in a cornfield somehow. And then he runs out with an axe and starts like cutting on my ankle. And I was like, what the fuck? And
So Matt Rife, he starts cutting on her ankle. How crazy is that? So she gets out the closet. She barely escapes with her life. She runs between his legs. Somehow she's in a cornfield now. And Matt Rife is in the cornfield with like a hatchet. And he's nipping away at her ankles. He's just nipping away at just her ankles. Picture that. He's bent over. And he's just nipping away at only her ankles. You know, so he's gonna kill her from the bottom up. That's torture right there. You could not make a medieval torture device better than that. And here's the funniest part about it. Is like, you probably are envisioning that whole nightmare with the Matt Rife that we all know today. You know, the lovable, you know, chiseled jaw. The motherfucker got pecs like out the wazoo. Got the straightest white teeth that you've ever fucking seen. They all look like chiclets in his fucking mouth. You know, very suspicious. That's the Matt Rife you're all probably picturing, right? That ain't the one I'm picturing. I'm going to tell you that right now. The one I'm picturing looks like this. Look at this motherfucker here. This is what Matt Rife used to look like when he first got on the show Wild 'N Out. Look at the teeth. the sunken eyes, you know what I mean? The very cheesy piercing in his ear. The gap in that teeth, you know? What's that old joke that we used to make back in high school? I don't know whether to smile back or kick a field goal. That motherfucker's gap is a big, okay? That's a big, big gap. So now you, like I said, y'all are picturing this guy. This is who y'all are picturing right now during this nightmare. Not me. All the dead women, the chasing, the closet, you know, the hacking of the hatchet on Miss Poorhawk Tui's ankles. It's all coming from him. It's all coming from that dude. That is a scary, scary nightmare. I could not imagine being caught up in the midst of that nightmare. No, siree. Count me out, dude. So that's the one I'm picturing right now. And that I just find hilarious. Let's see if she finishes out this story on some crazy shit.
It was so vivid too. Like I see my ankle like getting split
The fact
open.
that this was 3 weeks ago and you can tell me this
It scares
much.
me. Yes. That's the only like dream. There's like a few certain dreams.
So that's crazy. That dream was so scary to her that she's telling this story to Caitlin Bristow like 3 weeks later, like almost a month later. She still remembers it that well. I'm telling you, she ain't gonna be sleeping with that Matt Rife pillow any longer. Okay, Matt Rife is out. Pookie is in. Okay, but let's get back. See, what I find interesting about that nightmare is like Haliey's such a violent girl, like in every other aspect of her life. Why wasn't she just like beating the shit out of Matt Rife? You know, she's beating up her boyfriends left and right, praising all this violent nature that she's got brewing up inside of her. She couldn't make that happen during the dream. Like Caitlin starts talking about a breakup that she had. Miss Welch's advice is, you got to tap into that violent shit you got going on. You know what I mean? You got to just start beating the fuck out of those boys. That's the only way they learn. Listen to this.
It's time for that.
So what was your messiest breakup like?
Ooh,
I'm curious.
It's so messy that it's like humiliating. Like the cops were involved.
Did you hit him over the head with a bottle?
Nope.
Did you hit him over the head with a bottle? This is the baseline for Miss Hawk Tui. You know, she goes, oh man, it was crazy. Did you hit him over the head with a bottle? Did you really bust his shit up? Because that's what I would have started there, you know? So this is what I'm talking about. This is the type of girl that we're dumping all of our time, money, you know, we're all putting the love on her and everything like that. This is her. It's the real her.
Involved.
Did you hit him over the head with a bottle?
Nope. There was no violence. It was just me having an epic meltdown.
No violence?
No.
Girl, you gotta tap in with that crazy shit you got going on.
I'm not.
What the fuck was that? Now listen, she goes, girl, you gotta tap in with that crazy shit you got going on. That's like her advice to this woman. As if she's anyone to be giving advice. So this is the type of person that we're talking about. Whoever this Pookie guy is out there, unironically, I'm praying for you, okay? Because this fame and all that, she's obviously making more money than you now. You're going to have to put up with that shit on a daily. She's going to be like who's the girl that was like Monster, like the movie Monster? Was her name like Eileen Warros or something like that? That's going to be Miss Welch in a couple years. She's going to just be fucking killing dudes in like motels and shit. You know? And you gotta tap in with that crazy shit you got going on.
Meltdown.
No violence?
No.
Girl.
No violence? She goes, no violence? What the fuck kind of breakup is that, no violence? Girl, you gotta get violent.
It was just me having an epic meltdown.
No violence?
No.
Girl, you gotta tap in with that crazy shit you got going on.
What the fuck? You gotta tap in with that crazy shit. You gotta tap in with that crazy shit you got going on. What you doing if you ain't beating the fucking shit out of them? What are you even doing? I mean, do y'all even really love each other if you're not just hauling off on your boyfriend on a daily basis for like any little thing that he does? Come on. I mean, what kind of woman are you? You know? Like, that's the vibe that I'm getting here. You know what I mean? I really feel like this is her like first resort. Like, it's not the last one is violence. It's the first one. She wakes up. She chooses violence. Now, let's listen to this last time code, and we'll end it right here. I thought this was actually hilarious. These bitches have been getting memed like crazy. People have been photoshopping all these different crazy characters into the chair next to Haliey, and they're like, yo, Miss Hawk Tuah, she's interviewing like Abraham Lincoln. You know, that's like, they're all doing crazy shit like that. This girl that is like her best friend sitting over on the sideline, she gets this text that involves like, I'll let you watch it. It's actually hilarious. This whole thing is funny.
Can I talk about this text message I just got?
Yes.
Haliey, when the hell did you have Bobby Lee on the podcast?
What?
Listen to that. This is going to be good. I'm telling you. So she asked, she goes, hey, I want to talk about this text. Is that cool? Because I know I'm not like the famous one here. So I just want to make sure that I'm allowed to do this. And everybody goes, you may proceed. So then she goes, when did you have Bobby Lee on the podcast, huh? Now, this seems normal. It's hilarious to me because I've been watching the show. Bobby Lee is nowhere to be found. But for anyone who doesn't have the context, this seems pretty normal. But listen close.
This is funny. Hold on.
Somebody text you that?
It's not. Who is it?
That's Kim Jong-un.
Oh my Lord. They thought Bobby Lee was Kim Jong-un. What the fuck? That is the most fucked up shit. So I'm going to string it all together for you right now. She goes, hey, can I talk about this text? And the producers, like I said, they go, you may proceed. We'll allow it. And she goes, when did you have Bobby Lee on the podcast? And Haley's like, Bobby Lee? I don't even know who the fuck Bobby Lee is. What are you talking about, Bobby Lee? And the girl, she goes, yeah, this is the text I just got. She probably shows one of the producers. And the producers go, that's not Bobby Lee, girl. That's Kim Jong-un. So these two redneck chicks from fucking Tennessee, they don't even know who Kim Jong-un is. You know? And with that level of intellect, I can already tell you these two are going to be the biggest stars in the world in the next 6 months. But that to me is just hilarious. To say, when did you have Bobby Lee on the podcast? It's Kim Jong-un the whole time.
Talk about this text message I just got.
Yes.
Haliey, when the hell did you have Bobby Lee on the podcast?
What?
This is funny. Hold on.
Somebody text you that?
It's not. Who is it?
That's Kim Jong-un.
That's Kim Jong-un. Look at the meme. This is the meme that she's talking about. Somebody texts her this, right? They text Haley's friend this as a joke. And Haley's friend immediately not only thinks that this is real, she also thinks that it's Kim Jong-un. You cannot write this, but you cannot write it better than this. You can't. That is perfect. This was like, I might be a huge fan of this show from this point on. They keep doing shit like this, and I'm in. Give it up for the Hawk Tuah podcast. Turn up a little bit of music, and get ready to end the show. Once again, I always thank you guys for showing up to another episode of Lost Aux Media. We love to have you. And you guys are always going to be the best part of the show. So I'm always going to give it up to you, the real stars here, all right? So as every week, we like to end the show by just letting you know that you can always catch the audio episodes of the show on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Apple Music, and pretty much anywhere else that you listen to your favorite podcast. Those audio episodes go up every Wednesday at 5 a.m. Our video episodes can be caught on youtube.com/@Lost Aux Media. That's youtube.com/@Lost Aux Media. Those go up at 4 p.m. And the reason we do that is so you can listen to the episodes on your way home from work. And when you get home from work, you can watch them. It's a lot better when you watch, join in on the smoke breaks, hang out with the music. We can do a little bit of jiggy dancing, stuff like that. But with all that being said, I thank you again for joining us this week. Until next time, thanks for watching. Goodbye.